welcome the world into Eden Park, Auckland, New Zealand, the first ever 2020 international in the history of the game. New Zealand against Australia. We're pleased to say it's a magnificent night here. There will be no problem with the weather. And here they come, the New Zealand side in beige, led by Stephen Fleming, with the facial hair, Matthew Sinclair, Styrus, Hamish Marshall, McMillan, Cairns. Look at Hamish Marshall in the background. What an unbelievable look that is. Goodness me, what is he on? Andre Adams, Jeff Wilson, Kyle Mills, Daryl Tuffy, and the local boy Lou Vincent is back in the squad, 12th man. No Vittori and no Astle. What a good look. And Michael Slater's with me. Your boys look like they're going to enjoy this as well, led by Clark and Gilchrist.
They sure will, and they're both so well suited for this form of the game. They're dynamite in the 50 overs aside. Will they change their game? Will they try and up the ante a little bit more? I don't think they need to.
A night of history here at Eden Park. I wonder where this ride is about to take us. Just a solid start for the Aussies and a bit of nerves for Tuffy.
And a bit of swing as well. Not bad to Michael Clark if he was on strike. It's worth noting, Graham, that Eden Park here is sort of taking away the hat-trick from the MCG. That was when the first ever test match was played back in 1877. And the first one-dayer was in 1971 at the MCG. Gilchrist.
I think off the back of the bat, was it? No, in fact, a leg bye to get things underway. Daniel Vittori keeping those fashion stakes pretty high. Not playing tonight, but looking nice and relaxed and enjoying this remarkable atmosphere.
Here's Daniel Vittori, of course, being spared of this onslaught here tonight. And I guess that's the one thing, is that the spinners do find it pretty tough in this form of the game, a 3-hour game where it's all razzle-dazzle and the hits will just keep on coming. And particularly when you look at this wonderful play here, 45 already is average in just 44 games. Wonderful stuff.
Makes his intentions known early. The Australian Player of the Year, Michael Clark.
Yes, we noted that he won the Alan Border medal. I'm sure he'd been the youngest to do it. The key thing to remember here is that obviously 20 overs, how many overs are there for fielding restrictions? And it's reduced from 15 down to 6. So these two, Gilchrist and Clark, have just 6 overs in which to really maximise the fact that there are only 2 men outside of the 30-metre circle.
Come on, lads, need more. Get up.
Already Fleming with a man deep at point. Just to cover for that for Michael Clark, which he's already showed. And he gets off the mark just to settle a few nerves as I try and stay a little bit serious with Hamish Marshall.
That's his natural hair, folks. Bringing out the old headband.
How we'd both like to have some of that.
Well, I've done something about it at least.
I grow my own, Marty.
I import mine.
Gilchrist, as he normally likes to, down the ground, and puts it down. Didn't get it, Gilchrist, and just couldn't be dragged in on the left hand.
Bottom of the bat, it didn't go anywhere, and McMillan lined it up. It was nearly a brilliant catch. He had it, and then it just spilled. When the elbow hit the ground, out it popped. He tried a second time, then a third.
Had it in the fingers, had it locked into the fingers. Impact, lost what would have been an outstanding start. Michael Clark looking out deep and will go remarkably all the way.
Remarkably is exactly the word, because this is off the back foot, over cover. You see cricket strokes over cover, and mostly they're off, well, all of them are off the front foot. This is extraordinary. It's off the back foot. It's in the very first over of a match.
Great balance from Clark to be able to produce that power. This time McMillan won't have any trouble, and they've gone. They've got one. You wanted it to be eventful. It's over one.
Well, he got a bit of cut back, and it spliced Clark. It just gave him no room at all. And his intention was to hit it over mid-wicket, but it just didn't go anywhere, and McMillan had an easy cough at that. So the Black Caps pick up Clark straight away. Despite that wonderful six, he's gone for 7-10 for one. Simons to the crease, and boys, if anyone is suited to playing this game, it's this bloke here.
They'll look to him tonight because he's already played 10 matches of 2020 in England. 322 runs at a strike rate of 222. No time to lose, he says.
Kyle Mills, he's been used to bowling in the cauldron. He's been bowling for New Zealand at the death the last year or so. And boy, has he been blowing wind on the odd occasion. Well, this is like bowling at the death. I mean, it's just you've either got to get it right up or try and splice it, as Tuffy has done already.
Simons just makes it disappear rather quickly. Again, just a little bit of room for himself.
That's going to be the key tonight, is batsmen giving themselves a bit of room to be able to hit the ball at the top of the bounce and stretch those arms out so that you get maximum power. And particularly square of the wicket, you're going to see a lot of boundaries here at Eden Park. It's not a big ground. The outfield is lightning, and it looks a pretty good deck as well.
And again for Simons, this one will just disappear up into the terraces. And it'll make Billy Bowden dig nice and deep to find a six.
Well, it'll make Barry Bonds proud. And you'll notice this technique as well. And this is the modern day version of, you clear that front hip and you allow the bat to really swing through, and you can still hit straight. It's a terrific cricket shot, really.
Chance. Gilchrist is gone. McMillan has snuggled both of them. Mills grabs one to join in with Tuffy.
And again, the short ball's done the trick for New Zealand. Whacked in. And it's hard to keep it down when it's that high. That's a good bouncer. Gilchrist again not getting the middle of the bat. Didn't get going tonight. McMillan's second chance has got his man. And so the best striker in the world has gone for one. Australia 21 for 2.
Rather sedate compared to everybody else goes potting. I'll put this down to another win to Simons. Forget about this one. This is an open invitation.
Again, he's always looking to go down the ground, because that's the best chance of getting the full face on the bat and getting maximum return. That's a terrific stroke again. 2 sixes, 2 fours. The strike rate is up around 260.
Top edge will do, and that'll hurt again as they think about that near thing with Fleming last over. Beautifully played by Simons. Wonderful cricket shot. The balance just kept his head. The man they want, what was a horror, turns into a little bit of a dream in the end for Kyle Mills.
That's a big wicket. Boy, Simons looks in stunning form. He got a toe ender. So Mills' night has turned a lot better. And he's a relieved boy to see the finger go up. And Simons, the back of Simons, finally gone for 32. Australia 46 for 3. Damien Martin's coming off one of the best years he's had in his career. Boy.
Bowden. Damien Martin will not continue. I must say, in this short stay, he looked a tad scratchy, and he's played inside one here. Australia have lost their 4th and only the 6th over.
Well, it seems to me, Smithy, they're just not sure how to go about it. There's always the pressure on. In this even more reduced form of the game, 20 overs they've got. Damien Martin was forced into the big shot and beaten all ends up. 54 for 4, and Martin walks back slowly for 3.
Simon Kadich. 54 for 4. And Simon Kadich and Daryl Tuffy. Great shot. Magnificent placement. You've got to get it right. Smaller grounds mean smaller angles.
Sure does. Making the most of it, Ricky Ponting, orthodox. Once again, crashed through extra cover. And who said this 20 overs cricket was going to just be a big slog? That is pure.
Great reply. And the crowd are into this early. I noticed even as early as about the 4th over they were starting to clap dot balls. Well, they were for us anyway, I don't know about you. Oh, Sir Richard's even graced us with his presence. Oh, in front of him too, Paul McMillan and Stephen Bock. They were veterans of the 80-81 era. It's 79 for 4 here at Eden Park. I just wonder what the old man makes of all this hoo-ha.
Well, I don't know that he looks that impressed by it all, but then that might be his look. You know him better than I do.
Well, he'll be showing a lot of interest now because this is a selection out of the blue. This is Jeff Wilson. 12 years in the wilderness in a black jersey, an all-black jersey. Welcome back, Jeff. Welcome back.
Not the delivery he would have liked to dish up for the first one. Just straying knee height, full toss down leg side, and not difficult at all for Ricky Ponting. Anyway, he's got it out of the way. He can relax now.
I don't think he will relax. He doesn't like to relax in sport. He gets pretty intense about it. That's a better reply. This was for him a bigger moment because he last played for New Zealand at cricket against Australia. This has been on his mind, even this occasion.
This is huge. What a amazing feat to have debuted international cricket in the early 90s, then have an international career, the All Blacks, about 60 test matches, and then decide he wants to. It's one thing thinking about coming back, but the effort and the time that would have gone in to get this far. It's fantastic to see him out there, and fantastic to see the selectors have faith in someone like Jeff Wilson. Obviously you remember the talent he had then, but he's proving now that he's regained that. He'll have some way to go, I think, to get into proper match fitness.
Just surprised Ricky Ponting a little bit. Just sat up a wee bit off the pitch surface, high on the bat.
More of an effort delivery from Wilson, just really rearing up. Ponting trying to play across the line just slightly. And that's because of the effort that was put into that delivery. He must be so mentally strong and such a competitor to be able to get this far. How long he plays for New Zealand, we'll see, but as you say, Smithy, this is a huge moment for him.
Well, he's come back pretty well on this over. We'll get two towards the end of it. Boundary off the first ball and then a row of singles. 89 for 4 after 10. Now then, I've had enough from those 5 overs, so I'm going to take a breather. I'm going to leave it to you Aussies. You can head into the next 5. Good luck to you. You're in a bit spot of bother. You're 89 for 4.
How kind of you, Smithy. 89 for 4 Australia. A couple of Aussies getting together. Slats, about time we found some runs. I mean, they have consolidated, but the Kiwis are under the hammer. With 10 overs gone, they're probably just a little bit behind the time clock as far as the overs are concerned.
Well, they are from a time point of view, and there'll be penalties coming in.
Andre Adams gets into the action. Guy that made his name out of Cricket Max in New Zealand, and then successful transition to the 50-over game, being quite a valuable talent.
He's got the coloured headband on. .221 has been the highest score in 2020. So the Aussies pretty much online, but the danger, with Adams now into the attack, the danger for the Aussies, the 4 key wickets that they've lost, are not looking down the order at the real specialist hitters. Kadich tries to do that. He sliced that one into the gap. Kadich is not a natural striker of the ball, so his style is to really work the gaps, particularly now the field is spread, and you just see him really opening up the blade to find that gap. Not too far from carrying to Fleming.
Hamish Marshall. As bad as it looks, he's an outstanding fieldsman. Saves a lot of runs. Saving money at the moment on haircuts. And we'll cut off another one. Well, it doesn't get any better, does it? No matter where you look here at Eden Park. Good line from Andre Adams to Ponting. Not on this occasion. Man in the deep to cut it off. Will do so brilliantly. I think it's Mills out there that saves a couple. 11 overs gone, 94 for 4. Strong as they get off these pads, Ponting, and Kyle Mills at absolute full strength did superbly in the deep. A couple that might turn something.
Well, we're just seeing New Zealand. There's a big one from Kadich out of the park.
Did I say something about hitters?
Well,
my own club skipper, round from Randwick, Petersham, Kadich sends it into the top deck.
Well, he'll enjoy batting here because he's not known for hitting sixes, but he'll use these short boundaries. If he's going to go anywhere, it'll be a bit more cow corner. It wasn't a slog. He watched the ball closely and then just hit slightly across the line. Wilson bowling it in the right zone. Just a relief though, if you can get one of those away, put one into the stands, you can then work the ball around and sort of get 10 to 12 off the over, which ends up being a fantastic over if you've lost 4 wickets. But they're now getting very much back on track, I think, the Australians. It brings up the 100 for 4. Got 8 overs after this. They're looking at a total now in excess of 200.
Wilson to handle the pressure. It will go again behind square as he drops this one in short.
Just struggling early in the over with the length, and now is totally right. There's no room for error, is there? I mean, if you're just bowling on that half volley length, the batsman can pick you up into the stands or wherever he wants, and then if you get too short, there's just no cover on that onside.
And this time, brilliantly away from Hamish Marshall. Picks his placement, superb from Kadich.
Fleming now, just a bit of a stroll over to have a chat with Wilson, just to collect his thoughts, get him bowling either right up there in the block hole, looking for Yorkers. That is the main skill, I think, at this stage. Once now the Australian batsmen are going, that's what they need to be able to bowl consistent Yorkers, and the variation of quite a short delivery, which will be more of a shock to the batsman, and a slight variation coming into play straight away. Wilson coming around the wicket to Kadich, just changing up the angle.
Such a better line, brings this one back in. from the guy that knows just about every blade of grass here at Eden Park. Magnificent atmosphere here at Eden Park tonight. Great crowd in, heading towards 30,000. A lot of fun. And I think he got a bit of bat on that, Kadich. Billy Bowden says no, he doesn't. So the end of that one for Wilson, 12 gone. 15 off the over for the Aussies to get it out to 109 for 4. Glorious night in Auckland. Ponting and Kadich grabbing hold of a ship that was starting to lose its way a little, and Adams and Ponting in a real mix-up. Nearly got him with the backhander.
Ponting tried everything to get around Adams and couldn't. Could understand if it was Wilson, he might have thought he had the All Blacks jersey on. Ponting just couldn't get around him.
That man again. It was travelling and he saved a possible boundary, Hamish Marshall.
The whole game about 2020 cricket is just intensity the whole time, and that backward point area. See, Hamish Marshall has got that responsibility. That man there tries the best he can, but the short boundaries. 4's coming easily now for the Aussies.
A wicket is needed. Just the change of pace. Picked beautifully by Ponting and just took full control.
You can see from a bowling point of view it's extremely hard, so they're trying the subtle variation. That one he rolled across the ball, bit of an off-cutter. But then like that, the line was wrong. She's allowing Ponting just to continue. He's not taking risks, Ponting. It's the impressive thing about this innings. He's 39 off 29 deliveries.
Well, it was all out at the top of the order from Clark and Simons. Didn't come off, and it has been Kadich and Ponting to rescue the situation and really put them into a scene now where they really can launch themselves to entertain this huge crowd.
Well, Graham, it's a great skill that the Australians have, and they take that philosophy into the normal one-day game. They go out hard. If it doesn't work, and the middle order just gets back into normal batting mode, and they resurrect the innings. It's 117 for 4.
Time to relax down by the ropes. It's called the lounge, I guess, here at Eden Park.
I know where we're going later, Hughesy. We're straight down there, I think.
Jeff Wilson to continue. He got it wrong against Kadich, and this one nearly gets away from Sinclair. Drags it in beautifully.
Always a tough place to field. And in front of the, it's almost like the Sydney Cricket Ground hill down that way. Full of compliments if you're a Kiwi, but if he missed it, it would have been abuse coming left, right and centre. He's miraculous save.
Strays down the leg side, and this one will get away from Tuffy. Speaking from experience in front of the terrace, are we?
Late in 2000, it was a test match here. I copped the most abuse I ever copped in a game, and I in the end asked the skipper, Steve Waugh, if I could come and field at this other end. It was not a pleasant place for a few overs.
Again he goes leg side. And again, he's in real strife. Jeff Wilson sets Billy Bowden off on a bit of a dance.
Thank God it's only 20 overs apiece for Billy Bowden. He's going to be exhausted soon. All these signalling of 4s. But how many times are we seeing that ball straying into the leg side? Ricky Ponting just flicking it with ease. So 10 off the over so far. 127 for 4. The Aussies very much setting themselves up for that score in excess of 200, and that'll be hard to chase.
Keeps that line on leg stump, which is a real danger when you're talking potting. Push the man back deep at square, and fine leg has been pushed back because of the line that he started to bowl this over.
That's all that Fleming can do. He's really got his hands tied. I mean, obviously he would like that man up in the ring if the bowler's got the line and length right. Can't afford that at the moment though. And again, that should go all the way.
Just forget it. It's hit the top of the stand and bounced back. I'll tell you something about Jeff Wilson. He's gone from all black to all beige to black and blue.
Oh, that is big. Just a little look at Ricky Ponting. Probably thinking, I hope that ball comes back.
So, end of the over for Wilson, and a big one for Australia. 14 gone at 134 for 4. .53 to Ponting. Fleming had them in trouble. 4 early wickets, but they really have consolidated through the skipper Ponting and Simon Kadich, who is such a great utility value in this Australian lineup. Bat him up the top, you bat him first change, you can push him down the order. And Ponting has just proved right throughout this innings that you don't have to lose your head in 2020.
And something that's come across strongly in the county scene when they're playing this form of the game, the sides who do adopt a more orthodox approach are the sides who are consistently scoring 170 plus, winning more than they're losing. I think it's the right approach to come out in the top order and really try and crash off to a quick start, but then you've got to stabilise if you lose early wickets. So in that sense, the principles are exactly the same to the normal form, and good running.
Great early call. As soon as he hit it, Kadich had screamed to Ponting to make sure he came back for the second. Really put the pressure on Tuffy deep. In the end, Kadich had the danger end himself, but just great good vision. Around the wicket to Kadich. He'll hit it on, and they get a much-needed wicket to break this dangerous partnership. They needed something to come back their way.
Just a bit of a change up there from Cairns. A little bit shorter. Kadich giving himself room. Chopping it back onto the leg stump. But an important wicket for New Zealand. As you'd expect, the crowd erupting. But it's been a little cameo. 30 runs to Kadich. 137 for 5 now. As you say, Graham, Simon Kadich is a utility player these days. Once again, we'll just see backing off, as you see a lot of batsmen do in one-day cricket. It just allows them to free their arms up through the ball and look to hit through the offside. And now the replacement, Mike Hussey, who is another utility player. He's taught himself to play in the middle order, and he's been consistently effective for Western Australia. That's why he's here on this tour.
Another lefty to bother Cairns. And he immediately gives him a slower delivery. The Aussies will go searching in the last 5 overs for a couple of good hitters. They'll look to some of the bowlers, notably Brett Lee. Ponting again, just continuing to play straight, a chance of another couple.
It's a classic, isn't it? think we'll see that front elbow pointing as much after this over. I think he'll really try and unleash. Normally goes through that mid-wicket area. Can hit some large ones. Slow ball once again from Cairns. A nice change-up. He's got an incredibly deceptive slow ball. It's taken him a lot of wickets over the years. 141 for 5.
15 gone. Fifteen overs gone now for Australia at 141 for 5. Inside that all-important last 5 overs to take us through it. Marty Crowe and Ian Smith.
Thanks, Graham. Yes, we're at the death. The death of the 2020 match here at Eden Park. Jeff Wilson, the bowler's last over. He has struggled, hasn't he? 3 overs for 37. It's probably been a good outing for him, Smithy, in the sense that shed off a little bit of nerves playing Australia again, gearing him up for the 5 one-dayers.
Well, he did say, I saw in the paper this morning where he said, my main focus is Wellington at the weekend. I think this might have adjusted his focus a little bit. In the air, and it's going to land safely. Hussey just a little bit early on the shot there, leading edge.
I think what we've seen in 15 overs is the first 6 you've obviously seen the top 3 players really go for it. It's been some excellent cricket from there with Ponting and Kadich. Wonderful partnership of 83. Good bowling from Wilson there. We've seen some good stroke play, nice pure cricket, and now we're into the stage where it's hell or high water. Coming into the stage where with 5 wickets in hand, Australia could possibly eye up 200. Of course, Hussey is just on strike at the moment and just finding his feet, but Ponting on 58 has a real chance to lash out big time here.
First look at James Hope's new player for Australia. A rare kind of debut. You've got to hit the ground running in this cricket. You can't ease yourself into it. Terrific atmosphere. And all forms of cricket, class will prevail, and Ponting showing us that. And a little bit of luck. You've got to give it a good go when you're in front of the terraces, don't you?
You cannot afford to just ease up thinking I can't get there. You've got to show total 100% commitment. The terraces let you know after. I thought we were going to see a classic Martin Snedden catch here, you know, diving forward and then Sinclair to turn around and point to the terraces. It was not to be. Wilson's last ball. Pick up a single. So a better over from Jeff Wilson. 6 from it. And that's 16 gone now. 147 for 5.
And people will say to Jeff, how did you enjoy your bowling? Yeah, good mate. 4 overs, none for 43. Terrific night. But that can happen. Mills, 4 for 44, 3 wickets in the process.
Kansas 1 over left, and he'll come back into the attack to complete that. 1 for 20. Correction, of course, he picked up the wicket of Kadich, so he's bowled in 2 spells, 2 at the start, after Mills and Tuffy had kicked things off. Now we've got Hamish Marshall with the best hairdo in the business, all the way down to the ASB bank stand there at long on. Slow ball, good delivery from Cairns.
I can see hairdressers in New Zealand rubbing their hands together. The jing, jing, jing in the till now as young cricketers around the country try to get this magnificent Hamish Marshall look. It'll cost them thousands to do it.
I nearly got there when I was 20.
20 months? That's the closest you ever got. Straight hit, and Marshall gets everything behind it, every strand of hair.
Cairns now in his last over has bowled 2 slow balls, so that will be the trend, no doubt, as he tries to get through his 4 overs for the match. Looking like Lance. Not bowling like him, though. Will Vincent, the emergency fielder there, is probably pretty warm. Not sporting any facial hair, but he's certainly got plenty everywhere else. 150 up for Australia. Good bowling from Cairns. And good fielding as well. That's what the crowd want. A dot ball. Good tash. I mean, this sort of form of the game, Smithy, will keep Kenzie going till he's 45. Just 2020. 4 overs.
Well, if he only plays 1 game a year.
Ponting 60. Hussey 7. Ponting looked out towards square leg, thinking that was really where that full toss should have gone, but the full toss can work if it's particularly a low full toss, nice and fast. So Ponting just getting the 1. Cairns now just 1 ball left, 1 for 24, so that's an outstanding return when you think that he's only going to 6 and over. 2020 average in the last couple of years in England's around 8 and over. Oh, good placement from Hussey. Outstanding boundary from this player we've not seen before. 8 from the over. Australia 155 for 5.
Now take a look at Ricky Ponting, courtesy of Sky Virtual. Magnificent shot play, but he has accumulated 23 singles in the process of this innings. It's not all helter-skelter. You can pace your way through. He's 61. Magnificent way he's worked the ball into gaps at Eden Park. It's a small ground. Sure, the boundaries are small. That means the angles are small. He's played beautifully. And that towering 6 high up into the stand.
Three overs left here, and Australia doing it nicely. They were in a bit of trouble at 54 for 4. But they've managed to keep it around at 9 runs and over. Here's Adams.
It's one of the features I've noticed in this game so far is that because of the big hitting scenario, you tend to hang back in the field if you're inside the circle. Very few run-out opportunities. You would think with the helter-skelter nature of the cricket there'd be shying at the stumps all over the place, but not so. I think singles are a gimme. You can have them if you want them.
13 4s and 5 6s so far tonight. How many more left in this innings? Good start to this over for Adams, just 2 singles. You'd think this form of the game would suit Andre Adams. He likes to bowl nice and full. He gets that Yorker going at his best. Kyle Mills is bowled out, 3 for 44 from his 4 overs. Ponting. Miscuing this time.
Don't take on the do, fellas. Don't take on the do.
Ponting looking for momentum, but he couldn't get under the ball on that occasion. Just getting it beyond the 30-metre circle. 3 singles off the over. Swing and a miss from Hussey. That one just skimming the off stump.
The danger of this 2020 cricket is it's going to go by so quickly. People are going to say we want more. Can't we have 25s? And it's just in so much great action. That's sweet. That's sweet. And long.
Well, we've heard that this boy can play, and he's just showing glimpses now that he's got in, to get under the ball and send it a long way. Didn't go that high, but it went plenty. Adams has got to get it up fuller than that. That's gone high. Where has it gone? That's out of here. 2 big ones in a row to complete the over, and 15 from it. It's 170 for 5.
There is room for partnerships in 20-over cricket. There's no doubt about it. And there was a good one. And that was between Simon Kadich and Ricky Ponting in the middle. And that has set Australia up for this kind of finish. Michael Hussey, back-to-back sixes. 15 from the Adams over. And all of a sudden, it's 170 for 5 at a rate of 9.44 per over. Daryl Tuffy.
And Ponting on 63 on strike. Has that gone? Yes, it has. 3 sixes in a row as Ponting and Hussey put down the foot on the gas. There's a Dennis Lilly lookalike. How do you stop him?
Well, you stop him by still bowling the right lengths. The death is the whole game here if you're a bowler. You've got to try and hit some people on some toes. Not that the people in the crowd. Bowl some Yorkers and see if they can hit those. The old formula. That's better. Get it up there so he can't get the bat underneath it. Good running. Is it good running? Yeah, it is. Special. Electric stuff.
How's this partnership too? 41 from 23 balls in 12 minutes. And Australia are getting away from New Zealand here. Just under 10 and over. Hopes Lee Kasparovich to come, and McGrath. That's gone. That is gone out of here. Holy cow, Ponting might be lining up a 20-20-100.
Well, Andre Adams tried to line this one up. That was out of the sweet spot and out of Eden Park, out towards the background. A massive blow.
Boy, oh boy, what does Tuffy do here? 6-2-6, 14 from the over. That's gone as well. That is sensational.
Well, Ponting's gone to 83. It is superb because they just don't know where to bowl to him. They cannot get the length right, the New Zealanders. That is a half volley. It is. It's wonderful batting. It's beautiful timing. But you've got to learn it's not the place to bowl. Make it as hard as possible.
83, 50 balls. We've got 20 off the over and still there's 2 to go. Tuffy under the gun. And Ponting just peels off the most beautiful cover drive. What a peach. 4 sixes and 7 fours, and that was the best of them as he races to 87.
Oh, this is a batting party. This really is. It's a clinic of pure hitting and then just grace. Sublime timing. Magnificent cover drive. Look at that. Held the pose. 24 and 1 to go.
Oh dear. That's gone as well. It's gone all the way, and 30 comes up from the over. Well, catch your breath. 200 up, and we've got an over to go. 200 for 5 Australia.
And 50 off 4 for Daryl Tuffy. First 3, he thought the game was easy. Now he's having nightmares. 1 delivery in the over, he really got in the right spot. The rest were in the hitting zone. It was magnificent hitting too. You'll probably remember the cover drive. That one there. You'll like that. Daryl Tuffy will remember them all. Thump. Clunk.
6-2, 6-6, 4-6. Dial a nightmare.
93, and he's still got a chance to bring up 100. He needs the strike, and Hussey's got it for him. So Ricky Ponting has 5 deliveries. He is on 93, facing Adams.
Now remember, Fleming hit 100 not long ago off 54 balls and a 50 over game. Ponting here has 2 balls to match that. Ponting on 93. Make it 97. That is outstanding again.
Well, wasn't that bad a ball. It was almost inch perfect. But this bloke's in such great touch. An inch is all he needs, to be honest. That was almost Yorker length. Just a little wide, you might say. But, man, that is a beautiful cricket shot. 97.
One more hit. Oh, he misses. He's looking to come back for 2 here. Leg buys will be the signal. Hussey will be hustling, but Ponting will say no way. 3 balls left. 3 to get for Ponting. There's only been 5 centuries in 2020 cricket.
There's never been one in an international.
97 Ponting. 98. Now Hussey has a bit of pressure here. Does he go the whole hog, or does he just push for 1?
Push for 1. Go on, push for 1. 2 deliveries to come. There's a single anywhere on the park if he wants it.
Hussey's played a great hand here, 25. Oh, he's joined the party and picks up half a dozen. His second big one. Again, a poor delivery, but what an outstanding sweep shot here off a slower ball.
And he's going to leave his skipper stranded. It looks like his skipper's going to be stranded. There's 1 ball to come. Hussey's on 31, Ponting 98. Partnership 77 in the blink of an eye. A dot ball. Oh, brilliant stuff. A fancy finish, but I fancy they won't be enjoying the break. It's 214 for 5 and 20 overs. Magnificent hitting, magnificent cricket.
Well, if this is any indication for the future of this format, we have just seen a wonderful exhibition. Great hitting at the top by Simons, 32 from 13 balls. And Australia looked to be struggling at 54 for 4, and Ponting was joined by Kadich. And together they put together 83. They just played cricket. And then with 5 overs to go, Ponting went nuts, so did Hussey. And so New Zealand, when they come back after a short break, will want 215 at just under 11 over. It will be something to watch.